So let's stick with social entrepreneurship for a minute, because it was very much in vogue, what, about 10 years ago? And you hear a lot less about it now, although I think it's become much more practical now. I mean, people talk about the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid and how you can, create these self-reinforcing cycles. But I think the idea of, well, maybe we should start with, how is social entrepreneurship different in your view from regular entrepreneurship?
I don't really think that there's much of a difference. I think the importance of social entrepreneurship, especially when Bill Drayton, the founder of Ashoka, started defining it and describing it, he was able to show that the process of entrepreneurship had been a really important organizing mechanism for the private sector, in terms of how do we understand the kinds of ingredients, the kinds of forces, the kinds of talent it takes to launch and build great businesses. And so you had a whole century of sort of academic thought, economic thought focused on the role of the entrepreneur in the private sector. Meanwhile, there were all of these things around the world emerging, especially in the 80s and 90s, where people were inventing new institutions to deal with the at that time, the emerging environmental crisis, all sorts of crises or needs around human rights, whether it was gay rights or the rights of other vulnerable people and so forth. And he said, these people are behaving in many ways like the entrepreneurs that we have characterized in the business literature. It's just that the role is not well defined. The kind of services they need don't exist, especially the financial services and the network services. So the idea was like, there are people out there who love to build things. Sometimes they want to build businesses to maximize profit. And sometimes they want to build social institutions to maximize some sort of form of social impact. In many cases, they have similar ways of thinking about things and similar ways of approaching problem solving, and you need them all, And so the idea that entrepreneurship is a force for, harnessing people's energy, harnessing financial energy, bringing it together to produce some sort of new value in society, and I think it's pretty simple. I think now it's been mainstream, so I don't think the innovation or the need for the term is as important. It should dissolve at some point, because entrepreneurship will just merge again.